Alright, so Ultimate Boot is a great resource with a bunch of free software for repairing hard drives, modifying BIOS, doing various tasks if you're trying to fix a computer. So a lot of people will use Ultimate Boot CDs, but how do you actually create a Ultimate Boot bootable USB drive? It's fairly easy. First thing you do, there's actually a guide online, but you can Google search Ultimate Boot CD, and it's the fourth link down. It's pendrivelinux.com. Easily boot Ultimate Boot CD. So if you're on this website, pendrivelinux.com, and it has their guide for creating a CD, there's really just 5 steps. The first step is you download the Ultimate Boot ISO file. Then you just download their universal USB installer, and then I'll show you the other steps right now. So make sure you've downloaded those 2 files. Alright, here's the 2 files. You have their universal USB installer and the Ultimate Boot ISO CD-ROM file. So I already have my other USB drive plugged into the computer. Make sure it's plugged into your computer. All you have to do is double-click the USB installer, click yes. It's going to pop up with this window. I agree. Now, at the drop-down menu, you're going to scroll all the way down and select Ultimate Boot CD. Select that. Now, the second part, you have to point it to the ISO file you downloaded. So just select UBCD. Now you have to select the letter of your flash drive. It automatically has it selected for me. Mine's drive E, but just to show you, you can go into my computer. Here it is right here, drive E. And then all you do is you can either format it and erase the content on there, or you can just create it. Now even if you format that USB, you can still use it after this for storage. Alright, now it's going to tell me that it's going to create the USB CD-ROM, and you just click yes. In USB, Ultimate Boot USB drive. So this process literally takes about 60 seconds. And what it's going to do, it's going to make your USB drive bootable with Ultimate Boot for you. And what I'll do is I'll just show you what it looks like when you boot your computer with the USB drive plugged in after you finish the setup. It's going to sit here and let it run for a second, just to show you. Feel free to skip ahead if you don't want to wait for the loading. It has about 40 seconds left. What it's doing is it's writing the CD to your USB drive, but it's also making sure that your USB drive is bootable. So when you restart your computer, as long as you tell your computer in the list of boot devices to boot from USB, it'll boot straight to this Ultimate Boot. It's going to be a bootable USB drive, which is much easier than a CD-ROM. Now, if your computer might not be set to boot from USB first, when your computer starts up, you can either press delete or F12, whatever it says, to enter boot menu, and just select boot from USB drive. Alright, so it's finishing the last step of the setup right now. Alright, it's done. So I just closed it, and just to show you, here's my Kingston USB drive, which now has Ultimate Boot on it. Shows you some of the files. So just because Ultimate Boot's on your USB doesn't mean you can't store files on here, so an easy thing to do is just to create a folder called storage. Now I'm going to go ahead and restart the computer. Go ahead and show you that it works. Okay, so my computer's restarting right now. I'm going to have to tell it to make sure that it's going to boot from the USB first. So it'll pop up here with a menu in just a second. I'm going to press delete to enter setup. Okay, now all you do in your BIOS is you go to boot. And right now, the first boot device is the SATA hard drive. The third one is the USB, which even shows you the USB that's connected. All you do is for the first one, just hit enter. Scroll down to the USB, press enter. Now it's set to boot from USB first, CD-ROM, then the hard drive. All you do is you're going to go to exit, save changes and exit. Press OK. So now it's going to boot automatically from the USB drive, which should be plugged in with Ultimate Boot. You can also press F11 for boot menu or other keys like that instead of going in your BIOS if you want. Alright, so just booted in Ultimate Boot. There's the disk. You can use BIOS, CPU, hard drive, memory test of your RAM, parted magic, which is good for recovering files even on damaged hard drives, and that's it. Thanks, guys.